Okay. All right, guys, I'm live here. Just bear with me a moment as I set all this up. So great, I'm so excited. Jumping on today, I feel called to do a little bit of support to our community out there in regards to like making this a crash-free holiday season. And how do you do that? We have a lot of questions coming in from our, hello, Miss Megster, join. Thanks for joining me. So today I'm talking about 6 ways, tips that how to have a crash-free, setback-free holiday season. A lot of questions coming in from our community about this. And I really want to support people in this. So I'm super excited what healing magic can create today together. So, you know, what would it actually feel like to thrive this holiday season? Would that be amazing? I think so. So let me know if you can't hear me or something. I'm definitely doing Instagram and Facebook, so if my eyes are wandering, that's why. But I'm here with you. Thanks for joining. And please, as always, ask your questions. Susan, thanks for joining. Letty, thanks for joining. Okay, so I'm going to jump right into these 6 tips, guys. I know that this is an intense time of year, and especially if you have adrenal fatigue or hormonal imbalance, there is no mistake that it can be very challenging. And so I want to give you some really key tips. And some of these are going to be, they're kind of across the board, like mental, emotional, physical, spiritual. It's all across the board. As you know, we're a holistic, that's our thing, is a holistic recovery. So the first one is just giving yourself permission that this is a crazy time of year. And you know, what if for a minute you just kind of sat with that? Thanks, Fixter, for joining. And just felt it like that. This is a crazy time of year. It's interesting how when we just state it, we acknowledge how we feel, it dissipates some of the energy and some of the constrictive feelings that we might be feeling. So this season is a roller coaster ride. There's going to be points when you're going to feel super excited and you know, and there's going to be some kind of like just kind of easing by, and then there's going to be some low times possibly. And I just want you to recognize that that is the reality, and like give ourselves permission to kind of feel all the feelings and be in it as much as possible. And then let's talk about how we can prepare for the things that we might feel like would be challenging, and how to create that right mindset so we can really like do this 100%. Okay, so you know, we do have special circumstances here. We have special circumstances because we're dealing with a condition like adrenal fatigue that you're more exhausted maybe than the usual person. You're suffering from severe insomnia. You have a lot of symptoms that might be really making this hard for you. So again, I just want you to like really acknowledge what you're going through, really recognize, excuse me guys, I have to make sure my stuff is plugged in here. Hold on a second. Okay, I totally almost lost you. I'm so sorry. I realized my computer was not plugged in. So we're dealing with all these different symptoms, right? And what I want, hello, Victor and Susanna and Sunam Luna. So you're dealing with maybe house guests or traveling. So let's really prep here. So I want you guys to, again, give yourself permission, and anytime you feel stressed in this next week, I just want you to really to acknowledge the feelings that you have, and when even say it out loud. Actually, that really helps. So just, oh my gosh, I feel so stressed right now, and then maybe go into a room and scream if you have to, whatever it takes. Okay, this time of year is supposed to be joyful, and that's what I want for you, and that's why I just felt so called to pop in today. So number 1 is give yourself permission, feel the feelings, acknowledge them, maybe say them out loud. Number 2 is to prioritize. So a big word comes up when I say that. It's like this expectation or that comes with the holidays, is obligation. And, you know, we see things on social media and Pinterest and, you know, about all these different things we could be doing this holiday season. And I want you to make this holiday season your own. I want you to actually make this about you and what you want for the holiday season, not what anybody else wants. So is decorating the house fun for you? If so, like, have fun with it and make time for that. And if things like, you know, cooking or, doing crafts with the kids, like things that may be a push for you, like maybe give yourself permission not to do those. And it's really just about deciding what you want to, what traditions you want to carry on, what's most important to you. And I really want you to stand firm in that. Like, really, like if you don't like to cook, then, you know, there's lots of other ways to still eat good food around the holidays. And, you know, maybe that's not your thing. So maybe other people in your lives can provide that piece. And I just want you to really be clear on what it is that what lights you up this holiday season, and not be so distracted by all the expectations. Like, this is your life, this is your healing, this is your journey and your choice. So just as you go through your day this next week, each day, I want you to think about, like, what will actually make me happy? So that means even too, like planning where you're gonna go. There's a lot of clients coming to us saying, you know, I have this obligation to go here. Well, I want you to really honor yourself this holiday season and be in your own power with, like, what is going to support you in having a setback-free, crash-free holiday season. So again, this is not about them. They don't know what you're going through. And my thing is, you know, if you followed me before, it's like, yes, family is a big part of our lives, but, you know, how about the people that are actually, who are willing to support us and are willing to understand what we're going through? And I think that's a really important piece. And then I want you to do less of the things that really don't bring you joy. If you don't like shopping, what about online shopping? If you don't like decorating the house, maybe you just put up a few things, especially if you have kids and they really desire that. We have very minimal Christmas decorations, but, you know, the stuff that we do is fun, and you know, my son really enjoys it. So again, so the first one is give yourself permission to feel the feelings that come up. Understand that it is going to be a roller coaster ride this next week and possibly 2 weeks. And let's see how we can ride the wave as best possible. Number 2 is prioritize. Do less of the things you don't enjoy. Do more of the things you do enjoy. And let go of that feeling of obligation because it'll wreak havoc on your adrenals. So I really just want to ask you right now, like, what is it that you want to prioritize? And what do you love about the holidays? And focus on those things. And maybe let some of the other things go. Give yourself permission to let go of some of those. Now, I want you to, and the third one is sort of this conscious planning idea. And what this is when you have something that's going to be very draining for you, you know, what comes to mind is, you know, seeing particular, like, relatives that might be a big trigger point for you, or people that might really suck your energy, or people that you feel like are really toxic in your life. I want you to prepare for those. And how I suggest preparing for those things is the day before and the day after. I really want you to be conscious and aware of how you support yourself as you prepare and as you come down from that experience. So is it that you're only going to go to that person's house? You're going to limit your amount of time. You're going to talk to your partner, you know, spouse, whoever, and let them know ahead of time, like, this is what I can do, and really be firm in that decision. And then, like, so what can you do the day before to conserve energy and to build yourself up so that you can walk into that house or that place where your family or your friends are, or maybe people that you haven't maybe seen in a long time or whatnot? How can you, like, go in there feeling really full, feeling really nurtured, and really in your own power? So it's about I would say like one of the most important things is really being grounded. So maybe that's, you know, listening to some really nice music on the way there, whether it's like classical or maybe it's holiday season, holiday music that puts you in the mood and makes you calm. Something that calms you, or even before you even get in the car, maybe listening to one of my meditations from my album. If you don't have it, you can grab it online. Anybody else's meditations, there's tons out there. A guided meditation, or do your own, just really a couple minutes of just deep breathing and grounding yourself, feeling the earth beneath your feet, and do that for yourself, like really, and that's going to help you also be in your power to really honor who you are, honor your decisions, honor what you're going through, because a lot of people, right, don't quite understand what you're going through, and it's hard for them too. So we don't need to worry about their judgment. People are always going to be judging you. It's about how you can rise above that. And even when you feel like you're being judged, you can kind of push it off, because whenever someone's judging you, that's a reflection of them. It's actually often nothing about you. It's their own stuff. So hopefully that gives you some permission. So again, thinking about what you can do to ground yourself. And then the next day is like, okay, I'm going to plan a rest day, and I'm going to give myself the entire day to recoup after that, because I know that if I don't, I could crash. So are you going to plan that, like maybe a gift to yourself, like a holiday massage the day after that really intense family encounter? Or maybe you're going to take a bath and just like, you know, binge watch your favorite, you know, drama or a movie, maybe some holiday movies, and like really, so couple a really draining activity with things that fill you up. So it's kind of like that pairing idea. Okay. So I gave you a couple ideas. Okay. So tip number 4 is, hello, Michelle. It's surrounding yourself with people who get you and support you. And I know that for a lot of us, we feel like, okay, that's entirely impossible. Like there's no way that, you know, I have these people, I have to see these people. Well, what if you didn't have to? Or what if you could really limit your time? So as much as possible this holiday season, I want you to think about really surrounding yourself with the people that support you, bring you joy, honor you and what you're going through. Hello. And so, hi, Michelle. Thanks for joining me. So yes, a tip 4 is surround yourself with people who are, as much as possible, the people that really love and support you. And one of the great places is just to this community. I mean, we're doing lives all the way through the holidays and really just trying to support you guys as best we can. So whether the healing community is people online or, you know, people, your partner or your immediate family, whatever it is, and maybe surround yourself less with the people that drain you and are toxic in your life. So it kind of goes very similar with number 3, but it's different, because I really want you to think about how you're going to, who you're going to surround yourself with. How can you have more of those people around you during the holiday season and less of the people that are going to drain and suck and judge you? And then how do you also, again, going back to number 3 for those who just joined, it's like, how do you actually recoup after you see those people that might drain you, if you feel obligated to see them? But again, I'm actually talking about, what if you could totally let go of some of the obligation or expectation of the holidays and maybe not see people that are going to totally help, just put just that much more stress on you that would cause you to have maybe a setback or a crash. So again, we're worried, we're focused, we're being a little bit selfish, and there's nothing wrong with being selfish, and there's nothing wrong with, you know, having a hard time with your family. Like I love my family. I have a wonderful family. There are different people in my family, or different parts of my family that trigger me, for sure. And hello, the real Michelle. Nice to see you online here. And I just want you to be, I keep saying this, but for people who are joining, I think it's such an important piece, is to really limit yourself around the people who are toxic, the situations that are going to drain you, and do more of the things that you love doing this holiday season and less of the things that you feel obligated to do. Okay, so that's number 4. Number 5 is BYOF, and that is bring your own food. So A lot of you guys, of course, if you're suffering from adrenal fatigue, hormonal imbalance, we know there's a huge link and connection to the gut, right? And so we're talking, a lot of you suffer with food allergies, sensitivities, things like that. So how I want you to prepare for this is to, really prepare your own food. If you're going somewhere, and like remember the things that you love to eat. So if you like love dessert, and you have very strict a strict diet, then make a dessert. And I think sometimes the main dish might be something you can eat, but maybe some of the side dishes aren't. So I want you to think about having like a main dish that you can eat, maybe even having a side dish and then a dessert. So you have, you have what you need to get through and not feel deprived. So that's one part of it. And then if for some reason you want to just give yourself that day, this is sort of the other end of the spectrum. If you want to give yourself a day or 2 different days out of this holiday season to just, eat what you want and just be in the place of trust that your body can handle it. I really also suggest, I don't say recommend, but if it feels light to you, if you feel like you want to try that, then I just, this will be tip number 6, but I also want to give you some tips here, is judgment and our thoughts around what we're eating and that it's not going to serve us, right, is stress on the body too. So as soon as we judge what we're eating and that, oh my gosh, I'm going to have a setback, I'm going to have a crash, right, that adds to the impact, that adds to the stress on the adrenals. And so, yes, you can go cold turkey and not eat anything, bring your own food 100%, go down that route. Awesome, more power to you. And just as much power to people that might want to just give themselves that day. So again, prepare yourself maybe a day or 2 ahead of time, maybe eat a little bit cleaner before you're going to have that splurge day. Hello. And so the day before, you're going to prepare really well. And you're also, so number 6, the tip was to make sure you bring your supplements if you're traveling. Like, don't forget them. A lot of times people during the holidays forget their supplements. That's not a time to forget your supplements. Holistic Harley, thanks for joining. So have your enzymes, have your supplements that you take regularly that are really supportive to you. Your digestive enzymes, if you don't have some, you can grab some, usually at just a natural food store, that's going to help with the breakdown of all 3 proteins, carbohydrates, and fats. So OMG, there are so many. Oh, so many supplements, right? I know. It's a part of the journey. A lot of us have had to have a lot of supplements at one time, and it can be a lot. And if you're traveling, it's like it is a lot to like prepare. So I totally get that. So where was I? So bring your own food, or giving yourself permission to have a day where you're going to splurge. But if you're going to do that, prepare the day before and the day after, maybe really simply. And so, like maybe it's, whether it's like a celery juice or just really simple smoothies with very simple ingredients, where you're, and we have tons of awesome recipes on our website for, just on our blog. We also have the recipe book that Danielle, our holistic nutritionist, created. So she has lots of great ones in there, but I'm talking about real simple foods, real foods, less processed foods. So you're sort of preparing yourself, and then a couple days after, you're also being pretty strict about what you're eating. Yes, it's a big stressor to pack all them. I get it. I like to get like little containers that you can put several different supplements in, at once, and you dose out for each day and that sort of thing. So it takes a little bit of planning, but hopefully if you take a few minutes before and plan, then it's going to take less energy later, and then you're not going to have to deal with the crash after. So again, 5 was bring your own food, and 6 was bring your supplements and your enzymes, digestive enzymes especially. And if that's just too much, even just having like a little bit of lemon water before you eat, especially something that might need a little extra support in the gut to digest, a little lemon water, definitely doing your lemon water in the morning the entire holiday season. And you know, one of the biggest things is stress, right? So how can you, again, tip number one, I want to go back to because it's such a key thing, is to understand that this holiday season is stressful. Let's just understand that that's just a part of what this is, and voice it. Say it out loud. Like, oh my God, I'm feeling so stressed right now. It's okay. It's totally okay to feel stressed. It is part of life. But when you have, it's also, there's some strategies on how to deal with it to actually move past it. And one of those things is to voice what you're feeling and acknowledge it and not push it away, and not judge yourself for it. And then once you say it out loud, it starts to dissipate. And then you can say, okay, what else is possible here? That's kind of a bonus tip, number 7. And this is sort of a modality I follow, and it's this idea of taking affirmations to the next level, and it's asking questions. And questions can be very empowering, so when they're asked in the right way. So it's coming from your life from a place of curiosity and hope and curiosity of how something different might show up, versus being in a conclusion of like, this is how it's going to be because it's always been this way. Well, it's kind of like the definition of insanity is just to like kind of just keep thinking that same thought over and over, and expect it, you know, to shift, because we do need to create. We are creators in our world. We are the creators of our reality, and we need to remember that. And so I really just want you to be in your power there and just say, like, what do you want to create? So maybe it's each morning you're waking up and saying, okay, what do I want to feel today? How do I want to feel today? You know, what are the most important things on my plate, and how do I want to spend this today of this holiday season? Like, what can bring me more joy? That's the most important thing, is that you're having joy. I got liquid, iron, magnesium, and D. Will they survive a 3-hour car ride? Do you usually put it in the refrigerator, maybe? Is that what, or I don't usually put those things in the fridge. Well, I guess I have before with iron in particular situations, but anyway, so okay, so they're refrigerated. Well, I mean, I don't know, I pack my food everywhere. I was gosh, since I was 15 to when I was 30, I was a vegetarian. Then at 30, right before 30, I was diagnosed with adrenal fatigue. So I went gluten-free for 10 years. I've been bringing my food everywhere for my whole life. Like, I feel like most of my life, which is totally fine. It's just the way that I live. And so I always have like a mini cooler, especially now with my son, I always have like a little cooler. So, you know, I would suggest, having one of those. And if you don't have one of those, then I think, you know, 3 hours should be fine. Even if you just have a Ziploc bag and you have them in the Ziploc bag with some ice in it, and then put another Ziploc bag around that, and you can put that in your carry-on or whatever. That should work. That should help. So yeah, just an idea. Hopefully that's helpful. Anyway, so I want to go ahead and recap. So number 1 was to give yourself permission to be stressed and voice it out loud. Okay. Then we talked about, so be kind to yourself, prioritizing. So let go of the stuff that is not fun for you during the holidays. If you don't like decorating, don't decorate, or put up a few things. You know, if you're not a crafty person, I'm not particularly crafty. I force myself to do it because my son loves this stuff, but like, you know, and then I like lean on my friends when he goes over their house and like, oh, cool, you're doing a craft project. Great. Because it's just, you know, I'm not going to force myself to do those things, because I mean, I do them for him, but I do them less than a lot of other people do. Let's put it that way. If you don't like to buy gifts, then, you know, ask to draw names, or do your shopping online. Like, there's so many options, right? What else do we talk about? Okay, guys. Oh, we talked about pairing activities. So proper planning, conscious planning, you're going to kind of, the things that fill you up and the things that drain you. So think of an empty and a full cup, and you're going to pair those 2 activities together. So before maybe you hang out with the in-laws or the family that can really test you and trigger you, you are going to prepare yourself. You are going to, you know, maybe take a couple days of just rest. You're going to maybe get a massage. You're going to do some deep breathing or meditation, and you're really going to get grounded before you do the things that are going to drain you. And then again, the day before, the day after, you're really being conscious about how you're moving. You're really conscious about how you're going to prep for that. Hello, Sarah, for that day. And then you're really going to have a plan for the day after that crazy event to come down and really take care of yourself. Okay. It's okay. This is about you. This is your journey. You get to choose. It's your life. So stop feeling the obligation. What would it take for you to let go of some of the obligations that might be projected at you? Because a lot of them are projected from other people. And what if you didn't have to what if you totally acknowledged that there was this obligation, but that you didn't have to dishonor yourself and your journey and your body and your healing in order to fulfill that obligation? Okay. Number 4, we're just summing it up here for those who are joined. Surround yourself with people as much as possible who are supporting you. And even if you're at a party with lots of people who are gathering with lots of people, some people support you and some people you feel very judged, then, you know, don't go in the room or don't address those people, or maybe just say hello and, you know, and you don't need to be rude, just be kind, send love, but don't waste your energy spending time talking to those people too much if they're going to drain you. So again, surrounding yourself with people that support you, even this loving community here that we have online. And then number 5 was BYOF, bring your own food. And if you're going to splurge and give yourself a kind of a cheat day to do whatever, just please don't spend more time judging yourself for it. Please just eat the food and enjoy it. If you're going to do it, eat it and enjoy it. Otherwise, it's just kind of a waste. And just, you can say even affirmations to yourself. Oh, what would it take for my body to totally handle this better than it's ever done before? Or what would it take for my body to digest this food perfectly? And just sort of see what shows up and just be curious. You know, what if I could just splurge for a day, and if I didn't stress about it, now that you have this tool of okay, I'm going to eat it, I'm not going to stress about it, and see if that helps. Because I found if I relax into it, enjoy, and then take some deep breaths before I eat, that alone can shift everything. Because the stress response, right, all of our blood goes to our extremities to fight or flee a situation, right? So the opposite of the stress response is rest, the parasympathetic nervous system, which is the rest and digest state. So when we are stressed, we're doing the opposite of being able to digest and being able to rest, right? Does that make sense? So you can think about it that way. You can think about, you know, okay, right now I'm stressed about eating, so all this, the blood is going to my extremities and not helping me digest. Okay, and the last one is to bring your supplements, travel with them, bring your enzymes. I am just hoping that this is helpful for you. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. I have a couple more minutes, or you know, what was most helpful for you to hear? I'd love to know that. What would you like to try over this next week that's really going to support you? Oh, thanks for the love. Somebody, hearts, I see. So yeah, any feedback is helpful, all questions. And I am just so excited to see what you can create this next week when you just have a couple of tools. See, for us, it's like a lot of this stuff we don't learn in school, or we don't learn along the way. And sometimes we have these tips all coming at us from all these different places, but it's like, what's really going to work in the moment? What's really going to what can you actually take from this into your daily life today and over the next week and actually use that it's going to support you? And the biggest thing I can tell you is just to stay in your power. And how can you stay in your power? It's like really taking the time to ground yourself in the morning, whether it's meditation or journaling. What would make me happy today? What would make me feel more grounded? That's most important, because most likely what got you here in adrenal fatigue, and I'm not trying to kind of say obviously there's lots of reasons why we end up in adrenal fatigue, but I know for me personally was this I have to do, I have all these other things in my life that I have to take care of. And like, lastly, it was like taking care of me and what I really wanted and what was, what I really, my joy. It took away, like, I learned how to like go and do to the point where I had no joy. And so another thing about joy is that this hormone, oxytocin, is what gives us joy. And so it's the opposite. It's like the antidote to cortisol, our stress hormone. So like, that's what I'm talking about when I talk about like, do less of the things that bring you stress and more of the things that actually bring you like real joy. So anyway, I hope this was helpful. You all are amazing. Thank you for joining me. And what would it take? It's going to plant the seed out to the universe. What would it take for you to have a stress-free or crash-free holiday season? What would it take for you to actually have more joy this holiday season than you ever have before? So now you have some tools to go out there. You got your tool belt. You're armed and ready to like take it on like a rock star and do this. I'll see you guys all down the path. We'll see you. I'm going to actually have a Facebook Live next week, and I'm going to talk about our 7 steps to how to overcome adrenal fatigue naturally, holistically. And so I'll be there. I think I'm going to do it. Actually, I can't remember. I think I'll do it Monday morning. And so it'll be an earlier one. And then we're going to do some one-on-one sleep and some more fun things. So just stay tuned. Much love, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye for now.